Hi, in this video, which is part two of a little series of videos we're doing on calling business solutions qualified leads, we're going to be talking about what to do when you actually get through to the decision maker that you're calling for, when you actually get to talk to that person. Before we dive into that, I want to make sure to remind you to subscribe to this channel. Click the little bell to make sure you're getting notifications when all these videos come out. Click the thumbs up if it's helpful to you. It might be helpful to somebody else, and that thumbs up goes a long ways to helping this get in front of other people. If you're not a part of our team, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Love to talk to you about what it means to be a part of our team, what we do, and ways that you can make some extra money as a part of our team, or develop a full-time income out of being part of our team. I'm not going to dive too much into what all we do, what all we work with, because I want to make this video a little shorter than the last one because it can be. And make sure to check out our other videos if you find yourself interested in what all we do. Okay, on to today's video. What we're talking about in this series of videos is what to do when you're calling business solutions qualified leads. Watch the first part video from earlier. I'll label these as part one, part two, part three. So watch part one to learn more about what I mean by qualified leads. But in this video, we're talking about what to do when you actually get through to the person you're trying to reach. The decision maker is what we call them. Decision maker doesn't necessarily mean that that person's going to make a decision right then. In fact, in this context of what we're talking about, we don't want them to make any decisions about anything other than a meeting. We just want to get a meeting scheduled. Decision maker just means that that's a person who's involved in making the decision about whether they're going to offer the products that we have as employee benefits. At least that's the context of what decision we're needing to ultimately have them make. That's the context or the frame for why we're calling this person in the first place. So when we actually get a hold of them, get a hold of that decision maker in these calls, the approach I like to use, and there's lots of different ways to do this, but the approach I like to use that I find is best is to be kind of direct, acknowledge right out of the gate, that you're calling out of the blue, that this is basically a cold call, and just kind of state your purpose really quickly and try to get a meeting scheduled. By just being courteous like that, you're much more likely to either get something out of that call or at least leave the door open for getting something in the future out of calling back than if you do anything kind of cheeky in that call that ends up costing you that relationship altogether. It makes it completely sour for the future. So I like to just say, hi, so-and-so, glad I caught you. Listen, I know I'm calling completely out of the blue and your time's super valuable. I don't want to impose on your time. So I'll just be really quick. The reason I'm calling is I'd like to talk with you a little bit about a couple of employee benefit offerings that our company can connect your employees with. And I would love it if we can just take 5 minutes so I can show you what those are. They're a little bit innovative. A lot of people in the industry are using benefits similar to this to attract and retain top talent. I just want to show you what those are, a little bit about those, to show you what some of your competitors might be doing and see if it's something that makes for you guys. It won't cost you anything, just 5 minutes. And then see if they're willing to talk, sit back, listen to what they have to say. And if they have questions, try to go over those questions that you may gain from what they say in response. You might gain some really valuable information on getting the meeting set. They may ask what specifically the benefits are, or they may tell you, actually, today's really not a good day. Can you send me something? Oh, sure. What's your email address? That'd be your response. Today's not a really good day, or we're not really looking for anything right now. Like you'll get objections, but you can use those objections to gain some ground. Not by trying to pitch to them right then. You never want to pitch to them in that call. All you want to do is just try to get a meeting set or gain some ground for getting a meeting set in the future. So today's not a good day. We're not going to address anything on employee benefits, or we're all set. We don't need anything else. We're doing great in that regard. We've already got a lot of stuff. No problem. Could you, would it be possible I could just send you a little bit of info on our stuff by email in case the need ever comes up in the future? And then you get an email address out of it. Or, oh, I understand you're completely busy. Sorry, I caught you off guard. Could you just send me, or could you tell me your email address and I can just send you some info and then we can potentially follow up later if that seems appropriate. Just listen to what they're saying, not just the words that they're saying, but hear the message behind what they're saying. Sometimes that message is, I'm very curious, very interested. Sometimes that message is, I don't have any mind space for this right now. Sometimes that message is, we already have something in place. It doesn't sound to me like this is anything I need. Just try to gain some info from that and then do something to advance your position for the next time that you interact with this person. That's not to say that every one of these calls is going to result in somebody not scheduling a meeting. In fact, the more frequently that you do these, the more calls you make, the more frequently you're going to be getting people scheduled. If you have success on one, really quickly follow that up by making some more calls. If you're able to get one scheduled, call some more people, because that enthusiasm from that first win will carry through to more people getting scheduled. But the whole point of that call when you talk to the decision maker is to get a meeting scheduled. It's not to sell them on anything. If they ask questions, they say, what all is it about? Well, you have me on the phone right now and you want to tell me about it? Like, well, I appreciate it, but I actually kind of like to show you. We've got some visuals. We'd like to show you, just kind of show you everything that makes sense. But it has to do with getting access to attorneys and legal services for like your employees to have that for their personal life, and also identity theft protection services. So a couple of really pressing issues. About 60% of employees, when we actually get a chance to present to them with these benefits, they elect to have the coverage even when they're paying for it themselves. That's all I would say. I want to dive into any more detail right then. Just if they ask another question, yeah, I'd love to answer that question. Any other questions you might have? Could we set up a time so we have appropriate time and I can actually share my screen and show you information on that? And just stick to your guns on getting the meeting scheduled and don't try to pitch in that call. That little nugget of 60% of employees, when we do presentations, over 60% of employees elect to have these benefits, even if they're paying for them themselves. That nugget a lot of times will get it done because that person in their capacity with their company is thinking about, I don't want to put out a bunch of employee benefit offerings that my employees are not going to be interested in, because it's going to make us look weak if all of our employee benefit stuff is stuff that they don't want. So if you have that kind of social proof with that statistic, that's going to help get that meeting scheduled. You're not trying to pitch the product to the person. You're not going through the benefits of the product to the company. You're not going through the benefits of the product to the individuals. When you're on the phone with them, all you're trying to do is get the meeting scheduled. And so that little nugget can be really effective in getting that done. But again, remember, just have a very short, succinct thing you're saying. It just address the objection right away of that this isn't a good time for them. Just know that when you're calling, it's not going to be a good time for them. You're calling out of the blue. I know I'm calling out of the blue. I know this call is a little bit out of the blue. I know you weren't expecting my call today. I know that this is kind of a cold call, and I apologize. I'm just trying to, and then say what it is you want to do real quick. And all I'm asking for is just a quick meeting. We can set that up by Zoom, and make sure that you're telling them right away that you're going to appreciate their time. Like, not necessarily with those words, but show them you're going to appreciate their time. You're going to value their time by being quick and succinct when you're talking to them. The same kind of rules apply when you're talking to people in this situation. You don't want to script your voice. You don't want to script your words exactly. Have the same kind of thing you say every time, but don't have it scripted, because scripts come across poorly, even if you're really good at memorizing them. So just have, maybe if you need to practice, have some bullet points of exactly what you're going to do, but don't have scripted words that you're going to memorize word for word. and just have a very quick conversation, being respectful to that person of their time, and with the ultimate goal being getting a meeting and not being getting a customer or getting, a sale or anything like that. And they'll appreciate it. We're in the business of trying to show them what we can do to help them, not just trying to have them help us. So anyway, this hopefully will be helpful to you as you're making your calls and getting as you get through to those decision makers. If you are brand new in this business and you run into something you just don't know a way out of, kind of the break glass in case of emergency type of thing to do. If you get into that call and something throws you off, don't hesitate to say, I apologize. I'm actually pretty new with the company. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm pretty new with the team. I don't know how to answer that question. Would it be all right if we set up a time that we can talk and have my executive director on the line? Or would it be all right if we set up a time for a quick meeting while my executive director here, because he's an expert at this and he'll be able to answer all your questions. That's a okay thing to do as a kind of break glass in case of emergency type of situation where you just don't know what to say. It's completely fine. They'll respect that you're being honest with them. Look forward to hearing about your results. Hope this video helps. If you get some specific objections, questions, anything like that you want to go over, make sure to let me know either on Slack or in the comments to this video, and we can talk about those in a future video. Appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again soon.